Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun and today I am here to review Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, this movie has been in the makings for quite a little bit. You know, ever since it came, Legendary / Warner Brothers pretty much decided to reboot or revamp the MonsterVerse in 2015 with Godzilla. This movie felt like it was an inevitability. Now, this is not the first time Godzilla and King Kong have fought. They have fought many times over the last 70 years, because Godzilla and King Kong are old. They have been around for a very long time. They have fought each other many times over the decades, and this is the latest version of it. Now, the MonsterVerse movies, excuse me, whoa, sorry. The MonsterVerse movies have been mixed to not good. For me, the first Godzilla movie, I did not hate it, but I did find it a bit boring until it actually got to the fight near the tail end of it. Skull Island, I thought was a genuinely fun movie. I thought it was a genuinely fun popcorn movie. I thought the fights were cool. I thought the characters, while some of the characters were thinly, very thin and not much depth to them, most of the characters were interesting and noticeable, and they actually had a style because they were going for that whole Vietnam like vibe with the so it had a unique style. It was shot uniquely. I really did dig Skull Island. I gave Skull Island an 8 at the time. Me, Mark, and Seth went to go see that movie, and we had a great time watching it. King of the Monsters is a mix, what's the word I'm looking for? It's problematic. King of the Monsters was the opposite reaction to the first Godzilla. While I wasn't bored, I was bored in a different way. Because when the creatures were first appearing, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, when all those creatures started appearing, and in the beginning, it was grand, it was awesome, it was interesting, it was beautiful. There are still images out of that King of the Monsters that I think are just amazing. I will never forget seeing the freaking storm cloud, and just every time the lightning strikes, you just see the silhouette of these three-headed dragon in the clouds. Like, that's awesome. That's just awesome looking. The image of them in the middle of DC, or it might have been DC or Boston, I can't remember. But him just like all these fucking creatures just go, like it was awesome. There was some awesome imagery. But the problem is the story was super thin, and all the human characters were either worthless or just super freaking thin, and and every time they were on screen, it was miserable to watch. But it was a lot of action in it. But there might have been too much fighting in it, because even that starts to become like, you know what I mean? Even the fighting starts to become really, what's the word I'm looking for? Just drowned out, because there's so much of it. I don't mind CGI battles. Hell, I liked most of the battles in Godzilla King of the Monsters. I still gave it a 6. But like at the same time, it was just like, there was so much of it that it just made it less cool when you saw it that many times. Now we get to Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, understand this. This movie was done being made before Godzilla King of the Monsters ever even came out. This movie, Godzilla King of the Monsters, bombed at the box office. Not like super bomb, but it bombed. It made less than the original Godzilla. It made much less than Kong Skull Island. So they could not do anything. They could not turn around and go back and go, oh, we're going to do this again. It was too late. It's already filmed. They already set it up. This is what we're going to do. And I got to tell you, I am very conflicted on this movie, because there's a part of me that's like, I should be able to turn my brain off and just enjoy a spectacle like that. And there are parts in the movie where I'm enjoying the spectacle. I'm enjoying it. When Kong and Godzilla fight, when they finally fight near the tail end of the movie, it is awesome. When Kong and Godzilla fight, spoiler alert, they fight the villain, the secret villain of the movie, which is pretty obvious what it is from the very beginning. And when they fight the secret villain, when they fight each other, it is amazing. It is spectacular. It is awesome. And there is a definitive winner, too. But for the most part, every time it's on the people, it's just miserable. Like, it is just miserable. There's this Scooby Gang with Millie Bobby Brown, and like their whole subplot is ridiculous and stupid and don't make any sense. Actually, nothing in this movie makes a lick of sense. Me and Seth are sitting here watching this movie, and I'm like, if you stop to think at all, and I don't need a movie to be the most sophisticated thing. There are many things that don't make sense. I love the Avengers movies, but you never, but in the Avengers movie, but you never see anyone actually put an earpiece in their head. So no one ever puts an earpiece in their head, so how the hell are they all communicating? But you know what? But that's like a minor thing, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like, why is there an earpiece? Why does none of the Avengers have an earpiece in their head? Okay, why? Like there's things like that that I can ask questions about. But it's like if the question it's like, does it break whatever's going on? Like, does that question then break what's going on? And am I willing to let it go? But there's so many holes. There's so many holes. There's so many stuff that don't make a lick of sense. Like, minor spoilers, Kong knows sign language because, and like you can say, oh, maybe the girl taught him. But like, fuck, the girl's only like 8. Like, how long has she completely understood sign language? So it's just like, there are many things like that. There are a lot of loopholes. There are a lot of things that, I mean, not loopholes, just holes. And a lot of things that don't make a lick of sense. A lot of things in it that you're just like, you have to be willing to let go. And the thing about it is, I'm not the type of guy who could completely, I can turn my brain down. You know, I can turn my brain down and enjoy something stupid. Like, I can enjoy something fun that's just dumb popcorn fun. Like Godzilla, like for instance, Kong Skull Island. I gave Kong Skull Island an 8 because there was dumb stuff in it, but the characters were so fun that I didn't mind spending time with them, and they didn't have stupid subplots, and the action was so different and fun, and like the way it was shot, like there were things in it to make me go, I'm willing to. There is nothing, like literally, they don't actually meet each other. You don't actually see any actual combat stuff until until like 30 minutes into the movie. And then they fight for a brief moment, and then another 30 minutes go by, and then they fight again. You know, so like there's about an hour of this movie that's just spent with people. And then like another 40 minutes, and then like 30 minutes of the movie spent to Godzilla and Kong. They do this whole thing with the Hollow Earth that don't make a lick of sense. There's a whole thing with Kong that doesn't make a lick of sense again. Like it's just like, there's so many things that you have to like if you, and that's why I'm having a hard time grading this, giving this movie a score. I mean, because if you stop to think about it for a moment, it's like taking an Uber. Watching this movie was like getting in an Uber. It's like typing in a random address in your Uber, hopping in it, putting a blindfold on, and hoping you make it to your destination. That is the only way you can really get enjoyment out of this movie, is you can't think about it at all. I will say the big positive, renouncing positive, is Kong and Godzilla throwing down was amazing. It was awesome. It was everything you wanted. It was really, you know, it was over the top. It was cheesy. It was fucking great. It was fantastic. And that's what you're here for. But for me personally, and I don't blame any of you reviewer. Like, this is not the me. Like, I am not going to go out here and say that reviewers are being nice to this movie or being generous to this movie, because I do see a lot of reviewers just basically going, well, this is what you came to see. It gave it to you. So all the rest of that stuff don't matter. But what I will say is I can't do it. I can't. There's just too many complete stupid plot holes. There's too many stuff going on. There's too much things that don't make a lick of sense. There's too much bad dialogue. One line of dialogue in particular was just cringe. It broke me. There's a line of dialogue when you see the secret villain of the movie's revealed. One of the characters says his name, and the way they did it, I was like, is this like some freaking 90s movie or something? Like, dude, it broke me how bad it was. So, like, I give this movie a 6. I give it a 6 because while I was frustrated, I was never completely bored. The Hollow Earth stuff that they go into is very fascinating and interesting. When they get down to the Hollow Earth, it is beautiful looking. I like Kong. I like Godzilla. The fight between them was worth the price of admission, admittedly. The fight, especially their fight with the secret villain, was definitely the price of admission. They don't set anything up There is no post-credit scene, but I did hear that there was a post-credit scene, but they cut it. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they cut it because I saw how people felt about Godzilla King of the Monsters, and they were like, "Whoa, maybe this won't work. Let's wait to see." We'll put it back in. We'll put it back in if it's successful. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. I give Godzilla vs. Kong a 6 out of 10. I can't go any higher than that in good conscience. It's just, it is a badly written movie. It's a badly written movie. The dialogue is not that great. The actors, there's a lot of good actors in it who are just there. There are little subplots that don't really matter or even make a lick of sense. Like the way they even got Kong to fight Godzilla is convoluted as fuck. Like literally, like the problem with this movie is that it would be over in 5 seconds. It's just like, because minor spoilers, they make it known that if the only reason they have they have a dome around Kong, and they're like, oh, if we take the dome down, then Godzilla will come and fight him. Which basically they're saying is, if we take this dome down, the movie will be over in 30 minutes. Like, and so the rest of the movie is this bullshit, because technically the movie you came to see, them fighting, could have happened in the beginning of the movie, but they tried to prevent it from happening for some reason. Anyways, I don't know, man. I give this a 6 out of 10. Seth wasn't too hot about it. I actually think Seth disliked it more than I did. But, oh, man, yeah, this was a tough one for me. This is like, oh, I felt so conflicted, because, like, there's a part of me that's like, there's like the boy part of me that's like just like loves seeing this kind of crazy shit, and it was fun. And then there's another part of me that's like, well, that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense. What did you just say? And why is this here? Like, and you just go down this rabbit hole, man. You can't. But I can't do that. I can't just completely and utterly do it. I can't completely turn. This is, you know what? This is a movie worth seeing, though. I still think it's a decent movie. I still think this is a movie worth seeing. At least for that fight alone, it's at least worth going to the movie theater to see it. It's not that long of a movie, and you know, I didn't feel the time of the movie, if that makes sense. It's just, you know, some of those characters just, I don't think they needed to be in there. Especially Millie Bobby Brown's whole subplot. She didn't really need to be in there. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.